What is good, everyone? Welcome to today's trade recap of the day. Today is Thursday, September 25th, 2025. I'm going over today's price action. The two trades I ended up taking, I made around $10,900 on the day today. So slightly back. We're not completely red on the week. I mean, we still are a little bit red on the week, but we're slightly back. All right, just now a little bit red. But I took one L, one dub. Let's get into it. All right. First things first, P&L ski for the packet watchers. Here you go. There you go. Okay, so coming into the morning, again, I was bearish, okay? I was bearish bias. Reasoning for that. Okay, we had a very, very obvious draw lower, being previous week low in my opinion, and I believe that ES was in a sell model, so I was looking to see ES continue trading towards previous week low here. Okay, it's very simple. Now, we ended up bouncing off of this 15-minute gap that was kind of resting within this huge wick imbalance. I wasn't really loving longs here. I'm not going to lie. And I was pretty hard stuck bearish bias the whole entire day. So I didn't love longs, especially because after this 4-hour gap got inverted, I just wasn't loving longs. So I wanted to see lower prices, but longs ended up working out here. We ended up trading higher. At this point, again, I was kind of slowly flipping my bias, but not really, because again, we left those lows. So I was pretty hard stuck on that. I didn't see that move as being like a sponsored move, if that makes sense. So we ended up trading higher. We ended up hitting this 1-hour bearish for rally gap. At this point in time, okay, we ended up hitting this 1-hour gap. We ended up getting a bearish SMT here, okay? So we hit this gap, and then we form a bearish SMT where ES didn't hit this 1-hour gap, but NQ did, okay? So this is a great sign and at least a rebalance play, which is what I was mainly looking for. I wanted to see this SMT hold, being we had an SMT inside the higher time frame key level. So I was waiting, and I was waiting for my mech model to present itself, and here it did. Okay, so we got an internal sweep on these highs, an internal raid with an internal SMT. Okay, internal SMT. Oops. So at this point, it looked like this, the SMT. And we got a 1-minute inverse, which was the highest time frame inversion in this leg. Okay, so at this point, this was the trade I was looking at, and this was all I was looking at. But I'll show you where I went wrong on this short. Okay, and we had an unfilled 5-minute gap as our draw on liquidity. Okay, then we also had an unfilled 15-minute gap. Okay. So at this point, I was looking to get in shorts here, and I did get in shorts here. I placed a limit order at the inversion right here because I was looking to get some good RR. I wanted to get a little bit of better RR, especially with mech model. I don't really get the best RR, so I was risking around 63 points. Had my stop at the body there, and then had my TP down at this unfilled 5-minute. Okay, what did NQ do? It said "fuck you," and I said what? And I said, oh, because what happened? We had an unfilled 15-minute gap. So complete human error, honestly, like human mistake. I was not locked in on the charts today. I was listening to music. I was fucking around. And I definitely paid the price for it, okay? Because this is something, if you guys just listen to my trade recaps, I pretty much talk about it every day. It's like if we have a higher time frame for rally, for example, like a 4-hour, there's most likely going to be what? A lower time frame 15-minute, and then a lower time frame 5-minute. So it's like you want to be zooming into those time frames to see where, because most likely we're not just going to hit this 4-hour and then bounce. We're most likely going to go lower and then hit the, the lowest for rally gap, like the 5-minute or whatever, just for rally gaps inside of for rally gaps. So be looking within that and try to find where it's like most accurately going to bounce off of, which is what I'm always trying to talk about. And I didn't listen to myself today, and I honestly just missed this because we had a 1-hour, but then what's inside that? This unfilled 15-minute. So better safe than sorry to wait for this to get that rebalance play. But I saw this, and then I was like, oh. And then I saw this, and I was like, oh, okay. This was 100% a stop raid. Very obvious stop raid, right? When we get a very clear V-shape FU candle through this gap, through these two gaps. So I entered on a limit order on this 1-minute gap here. And same draw on liquidity, same targets. Now I know at this point that this high here should be protected. We should not trade back towards this high until we complete this internal sell model that we have. And then we could then trade back up to this high. But I definitely do need to see this rebalance play happen now. And I was really people are gonna be like, why are you shorting against the trend? This is a high probability model, especially when we have a lot of unfilled gaps here. Okay, so there's an unfilled gap here, unfilled gap here, unfilled gap here. Like all these unfilled gaps, we're at least going to hit this and then bounce from there. So I know that. Just I've been trading on the markets for like 4 years now, right? It's a very, very high probability model, the MAC model. Even though it is slightly sometimes counter trend, I did like this because I could have honestly seen like just this short just fucking dumping today. Bias was wrong, drawn liquidity was wrong, but do I care? No, I got my piece of the pie and I still dubbed and I still made money today. So that's it. But anyways, enough yapping. Let's get into this. So I took the short here, limit order again because I wanted to get a little bit better R, and then I took 130 tick dub. And then I took like a 60 point L. So it was like good risk management there on my part. So played it well, and that's how I ended up green on the day. And not huge green on the day, like 0.4%. So pretty mid. I definitely could have made a lot more money today, but if I didn't take this stupid first short, honestly, I'm pretty annoyed at myself for missing this. But yeah, and then so my TP wasn't at the 15-minute. It was at the unfilled 5-minute because, again, same thing here with what I was talking about with the hourly for my rejection area. We're looking at the hourly, and then we have this unfilled 15-minute. We're most likely going to bounce off that. Same thing here with this 15-minute. If we zoom in, we have an unfilled 5-minute. So we're most likely, if we're going to bounce, we're going to bounce off that. And if my drawn liquidity and bias is just wrong, then we're most likely going to bounce off that, which is what we did. So that's why my TP was there and not at the 15-minute and not even lower. I was playing it safe here. But yeah, 1050 macro ended up doing the work once again. We ended up getting that run at 1050, and I knew that was going to happen also. This is why I was also really confident in the play again. And yeah, I'm able to take second trades. By the way, I have a rule where I can take 1 to 2 trades in a day. Okay, so that's always been my rule. If you guys look at pretty much all my videos, I'm always taking either 1 to 2 trades in a day. I'll basically break down my risk management plan right now. If I take 1 loss, then I'm okay to take another trade, right? So I don't always take another trade. But if I get stop rated, for example, like this, and it's a very obvious stop rate where we hit a new key level, then it's like, okay, this is still my key, this is still my model, but I'll still take this trade. If I take 1 trade and it's a dub, then I'm done for the day. So dub, I'm done for the day. And then break even, I'm still okay to trade. But that's basically my risk management plan. But I'll never take like 2 losses in a row. If this trade was a loss, I would have gone off for the day, right? But yeah, I'm also like able to risk like 0.5% every time. So I'm able to make like not lose more than 1% in a trade. So it's like risking around 0.5 to 1%, in a day. Risking around 0.5 to 1% every trade. I'll usually do that for my risk management. It depends on my buffer on the account. It depends on how much I'm up on the accounts. So it really varies every time. So it's not the same every day. But yeah, that being said, that's my risk management plan. And that's pretty much it. I mean, again, it was a tougher day for me for sure because I wanted shorts. But I had to stick with the good old fashioned Mac model, which is my bread and butter setup, and it'll always pay me, even when, stuff like this happens. But I did want a continuation model, but unfortunately, like I just didn't get it. I did want a continuation model, but it was here. That was like the only entry for that. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Hopefully I can close this week green tomorrow. Hopefully we can get a trade tomorrow. So we'll see. I'll see if Friday presents anything. If not, then it's like slightly red on the week, which is not the end of the world. They've done like 4K or something. So basically break even. All right. But yeah, check the haircut. I don't know how I feel about it. I've never in my life, never, and I swear to God, this monkey is back. Oh my God, do you guys remember from the last trade recap? Bro. The monkey. Guys, there's a literal monkey in this other person's apartment. I think I'm going to drive over there today. What floor is this on? I'm going to find this person because I want to fucking meet a monkey. Anyways, but I've never gotten a good haircut ever. I don't think ever. It's always, I need at least 2 weeks for it to marinate and then it starts looking slightly good. But like as a white male, I've never gotten a good haircut. And I envy, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to keep it there. Anyways, that's it. Okay. If you guys want to start copying your trades, start making big boy money, Trade Syncer, code PB, link in the description. Also, I'm trading with Alpha Futures. And then if you guys want to get up to 20 freaking accounts, you can trade with Apex, and it's super cheap accounts if you use code PB. Also, so yeah, go check those out. Link in the description below. And that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I take a trade. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. And I'll let you guys know on the Instagram stories. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Peace out, team.